when you start a business, whether you have put a lot of time into opening it or whether it's a hobby that sort of lurches into a business, a lot of people sort of go about it backwards. They think, how are we going to advertise? How are we going to make these Facebook ads? How are we going to get our name out there so that people hire us? But what you miss sort of when you've never shot a wedding before, or where you've only shot one or maybe two, people aren't going to trust you. So if they find you on Facebook and then they call you and they say, oh, how many weddings have you done? And you say none, it's going to be really hard to convert that random stranger into your first booking. After I shot that first wedding, I shot my second wedding, I think 2 months later, and my third wedding a month after that. And they were for people who were more like, hey, it's getting really close to our wedding. We don't have a wedding photographer. Oh, I guess we should ask a friend to do it. They were just looking for somebody. So I stumbled into those somebodies. And then I was able to take the work from those somebodies and take a look at it. And I had to make a decision there. Was this going to be a hobby? Was this just going to be something that I did 2 or 3 times a year for some extra pocket money for friends of friends? Or was this going to be a part-time job where I needed to actually not only learn how to run the business side of things, but also to become a better shooter? Or down the road, was this going to be sort of a full-time empire? Like, did I really have what it took to take it full-time? Did I even want to? So that's why the very first wedding I shot, I'm very glad that it was for, and it wasn't for a friend. I don't work with my friends. Like, I'm very clear there's no friends and family policy, but it was an acquaintance, someone that I knew casually. So if I'd screwed up her wedding pictures, our friendship wouldn't have been over. But it was finding that one sort of casual acquaintance who trusted me enough to hand me the job. That was a good start. So, when you are first starting out, you need to look at the relationships around you and the people you know and the people you know in your community and friends of friends and friends of friends of friends and ex-college roommates' friends and sort of the entire network that you have around you. So I can't imagine how I would have handled that very first call if someone said, oh, how many weddings have you shot? And I said, none. That's kind of a tough place to be in, and you also need a portfolio. So you've got to get the first one in, and even more than the first one, you've got to get the first half dozen in the door. And you don't have to go from, hey, I shot my first wedding and it was super fun, to now I'm an S-corp with 6 employees. Like, you don't have to go there. But a really bad place to be is 2-3 years in, when you realize, oh no, I've been making money for a couple of years, but I haven't been paying taxes on it correctly and my books are a mess. So if I were to give, new wedding photographers, or even people who are considering wedding photography, one tip, it's the second you start taking in money for it, even if it's a hobby, talk to an accountant. Just see what it means for you financially, because it's a lot easier to add in those extra 2, 3, 4 weddings of income on your taxes now than have to go back a couple of years from now and re-add them to your taxes. You just want to be in a good place financially from the very beginning. I'm Susan Stripling. If you want to find more of my work, at susanstripling.com. I also blog educationally for photographers on thedynamicrange.com.